What's up everyone, and welcome to another video. Today I want to just quickly show you the new Byzantine opener. A lot of people are speculating on how to actually play correctly, and it's pretty simple. Now with Byzantines, we're able to get our cisterns a lot faster, but we don't start with a cistern. And that's pretty much the difference. So about 10 minutes in, we are able to have about 5 cisterns, because now they cost 125 stone across the board. Basically, what we want to be doing is we want to send all of our bills here to food. Then we take one bill who builds a house and who builds a mining camp. Now, we're not going to be able to immediately make a cistern, but making houses and mining camps helps us a lot because they also reward us with stone. So that's really cool. Now, you're going to be going up to 6 on food, and then you can rally 2 to gold. So it's kind of like a 6-2 split, but it's a bit reversed. Because you need to get up to 6 first instead of up to 2 on gold first. So it's a bit of a difference there. You just scout normally. You get your villager out here onto the mining camp, and then you get your 2 bills onto gold. So quite simple that way, really. There's not a lot more to it. So there's not like secret knowledge about how to play Biz now. This is the standard way, pretty much. You can play the old builds, whether you play gulp, whether you play keshiks or longbows or jabs. It doesn't really matter too much because you're still going to be playing it the same way. There is some speculation about how should you be going about playing the trade posts. And some people say you should play, trade posts if they're close. But again, it's also random when what type of mercs you get out of it. There's a lot of stuff like that. So you can still just pick your jabs and your other units. As you can see now, we have enough for a cistern, building the mining camps, gathering the stone over here. And so we can build a cistern here. Now we get the gold, which is nice. We get the berries as well from our grand winery. And we're just rallying onto the food right now. There's not a big difference here. You get onto the food, and then you can take, 4 vills, control group them like this, and then the vills are ready for building the grand winery. And we just want to have constant villager production. We've got our first cistern. We can build a second cistern over here later. Or we can build it down here if we want to. You can also build them around the wood lines. Good vision. Got that 2 on gold. So now all we're doing is just waiting for that 3,900 gold to come around. Once we're below 3,900 gold, we can then put our 4 bills onto the berries. We could put these 2 here. I would probably still keep 2 on gold. And maybe go up to 3 in feudal age because you still want to get the upgrades going. So now we can pull off. Go like this. We can take... there we go. We can take these, and then we can start the grand winery. Perfect placement, right? We still keep our production here, and now, because we had to make that mining camp, we have to go on straggler trees instead of an instant lumber camp. And that's something to consider. Do you want to slow down your age up a bit to gather more wood for production? I'm not going to do that here, but it's something that you might want to think about when you play. Just put 3 on the landmark instead of 4. Because you are lacking extra wood, so maybe having an extra villager on wood might make sense, right? So there's not a lot more to it than that, really. You have your sheep coming in. Everything is sort of the same as before. The only difference is you now have to constantly think about this guy here. It's an extra attack point. Before, it was only berries and your gold. Now your opponent can also harass your stone. And you'll find that people who are attacking you early will get some more value now because they'll be able to deny your stone. So maybe keep that in mind when you think about the matchup that you're playing. Now we can go in the lumber camp here. Just shift click these. We just keep rallying onto the lumber. Keep the 4 on food, of course. So we have constant villager production. Get another house. We can build this house a bit further out. So we get some vision. And in a moment, we'll have enough, especially with this lumber camp, to get our second cistern. We can also pre-move these now. So build our second cistern. And this guy here, it doesn't really matter what bill you use to build the aqueducts. But as you can see, we're missing a little bit of wood here. So I think it's very much worth it to take a look at aging up with only 3. And putting an additional 1 on wood, or even just gathering only the straggler trees might also be worth it. These are just like things you should think about from now on. And that's how the Byzantine early game has changed. Now we can build a barrack at about 430 here. We can also get our upgrades if we want to. We can process wheelbarrow. Always a good upgrade to get. So we get that now. And we can start making spears for defense. Again, if somebody's rushing you, it can be a good idea to take your stone ville and build the aqueducts with that ville because, again, makes the defense a little bit earlier, a bit easier. Because then you can take your spear and only defend these 2 points. Now, of course, if you have gold down here, it's a different story. Maybe you want to pull off gold. It's just, you are very, very vulnerable early to knight raids, harass in general. Just be aware of that. That's just a classic Byzantine thing. You're easy to rush. Now we are building our mercenary house. There we go. We're getting our limiting upgrade. We have finished constructing this. Where did that stone mill go? Oh, he went back. Yep. So stone mill went back. I would probably put a spear over there. And of course, now we're going to go into some mercenaries. We're just going to go for longbows for this example. This is, after all, only an AI game. But longbow's also a great choice in general. If you're sort of unsure what to go for, I would always go longbows. Longbows are a good choice. I like them a lot. They still cost 520 oil. We can start to make some early farms here. The other thing is, yeah, sure, it's nice to get the stone from the farms. We get 8 stone. But do you really want to make as many farms as before? You can still play the farm style. You can also go out in the berries. This berry patch has 8 berries, right? So that's a lot. And that's really good to go for. It also helps you save on wood. So if you want to make more units, I would probably pull off wood now and then go on those berries instead. So you could do that. And then you could build your 3rd cistern over here. We're only 6 minutes into the game. We're already getting our 3rd cistern. So these are really good numbers. These are good, for sure. We can build a tower over here. We can send our spears. We're just having new spears come for the fence. And you can still play for these tempo pushes that we've seen so many times before with the Byzantines, where you have like a handful of spears, 1 or 2 packs of longbows, and then you play into that, and that still feels good. There's not really that big of a change in that regard. So, you know, 2 different styles. Do you want to play a little bit more defensive? Or do we want to play a little bit more aggressive? Again, that's a matchup thing. You can still use houses here, like this, get the vision. Just keep making spearmen. Now we've got the longbows here at 7 minutes. So it's still fast, and it's especially faster if you have it on your, if you have it berries being gathered over farms. Now we can make connection here. So again, this feels super good. There's definitely, you know, a more of a mid-game buff and a little bit of a nerf early game with this change to the systems. But I would say overall it's good, because it actually makes Byzantines even better. If you think it's good, it's good. But you're able to get a lot more systems this way. And now we're at 7:45. We're pretty much ready to go for the next batch of longbows. Yeah, just queued it up. So this way is perfectly fine. It's super strong. Back on the stone. We're getting a lot of wood now. We want to consider, do we want to keep making farms or not? I would say don't overdo it. If you want to go for a fast castle, pull your wood villas away. Go a little bit heavier on berries. You've secured the other one here, so you just go for that. You could even tower your gold if you wanted to, or wall a bit. You can go for, you know, the berries down here. We can queue that up like this. We can have one villager go down here and build a tower. We could wall this. Sort of the way that Byzantine plays now is very much this type of expanding thing, where they're getting houses for vision. They got the aqueducts all the way out here. You know, we're almost ready to get for the fourth aqueduct. And you know, you play it this way. You can boom, you can go aggressive, you can go fast castle. Of course, pick one. You don't want to do everything at once. Otherwise, you'll just end up being too weak, because you're not doing any of them properly. But yeah, this is the way that I would probably theory craft the Byzantines nowadays. I think this is how they're best played. Can make another system now. Connected. Not yet. Get a third batch of longbows at 9 minutes. Civ feels good. Really good. Make a few more limits to balance our food gold economy. And take 2 of these and put on gold. Put these guys down here. I mean, you're really hard to raid when you play like this. You split your units a bit. Of course, you also have to be aware of where your units are. So if you struggle with awareness like that, it can be a little bit difficult. So go like this, build some aqueducts. Got the tower here. And we're on 4 systems before minute 10. And if we put another one on stone earlier, we could get 5 systems even faster. I mean, there's really only your macro that limits you here. And we've got a little bit too much gold because we're moving these villas. So we could go for an upgrade. You know, we've got horticulture, we've got the forestry, we've got the mining upgrade, wheelbarrow, got most of the upgrades. Of course, we do not have the blacksmith upgrades. If you're up against somebody who's going fast castle into man-at-arms, prioritize them. Go a little bit less in farms. If you can go aggressive, get your blacksmith upgrades. If you're just playing this defensive style here, maybe you don't need them. I don't know. Depends, right? It's hard to say. Some games are different. And then when you have to age up, I would probably just take, you know, a handful of villagers, maybe these here. Just build the Golden Horn Tower out here. That doesn't matter too much. You can do that like that if you want to. Go a little bit heavier on wood again. And yeah, that's pretty much how Byzantines are played now. This was just a little bit of a quick showcase. How, you know, I would play them. With the standard style being integrated into this change. And all I can say is the system change feels good. I'm getting way higher production speed this way. I feel a lot better about my mid-game economy now, because that's usually where you would have to gather with more villagers. But playing it like this, in a matchup where you're not aggressed on early, yeah, totally. The Civ is still very strong. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. And I'll be in the comment section answering questions if you guys have any. But yeah, this is the new Byzantines. All right. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.